Team de Cruz, both of Switzerland. So let's take a look at the teams. It's Team Schwaller on the left-hand side, Marcel Klufer at lead, Romano Meyer at second, Michael Brunner, the third player, and Yannick Schwaller, the skip. And taking a look at Team de Cruz, the familiar lineup of Valentin Tanner, the lead, Peter de Cruz, the skip and second player, Sven Mikkel, the third, and Benoit Schwartz, the fourth player. There we take a look at Team Schwaller, who look very happy about making their way in this B road against Team de Cruz. So it will be Team Schwaller playing the red stones, de Cruz playing the yellow. They're just playing the draw the shot challenge now, Rob. This is a very important part of the game, isn't it?
Well, especially Kenny in these shorter games, the 8-end games, to steal a march and control the first couple of ends with a hammer is absolutely vital. These teams know each other very well, of course. They've met each other a few times this season, and indeed already met each other here this weekend. So they'll be pretty familiar with each other, and they're already familiar with the ice. So we'll get some cracking first few ends here, I think.
Yeah, just taking a measure on this one to determine who gets last stone advantage in the first end. As we see, one of the other games going on is an all-Scottish affair, which is Bruce Mowat versus Glenmuirhead. The matchup we are focusing on is Schwaller versus de Cruz.
Yeah, so we're getting to the sharp end of the competition now, Kenny. We're seeing the really top matches up. These two Swiss teams are probably the two top teams in Switzerland this season. They've played an awful lot of curling. They're describing themselves not as full-time curlers, but they've played an awful lot of games on tour already this year. So seasoned curlers, but really at this time of year, it's they're building up world ranking points to see who's going to be representing Switzerland in the Worlds later on in April.
Moi j'avais 14-4. Ok. De Yannick, la deuxième. Ouais. 14-5. Ouais, 14-45. Mais ils l'ont bien balayé, ouais.
Benoit Schwartz, the fourth player for Switzerland. So this Swiss side of Peter de Cruz is a little bit unconventional, isn't it, Rob?
Well, it's a lineup that a lot of the Swiss teams are adopting. We saw Simon Gempler's team doing the same earlier on the week, where the skip plays down the rink, and I think it works for some teams where the skip wants to take a little bit of pressure off himself and just think about the tactics of the game, and the guy throwing the last rock, it allows him to relax and just throw. So it works in some lineups. It's not a huge, it's not very common in Scotland, but certainly it's been a successful lineup for Peter de Cruz's team. They've adopted this lineup for 4 or 5 years now, and had success at Olympics and Worlds. Just changing the lineup there. That one over curled on Benoit there, so Peter de Cruz just explaining to him, I'm going to give you a little bit more ice. He seemed happy enough with the splits.
So Rob, in an 8-10 game, how important is it to have that last stone advantage?
Well, in these games it's vital. I mean, it allows them to steal the march. It's amazing on the stats how you're up in the high 70s in terms of percentage games won with the team that wins hammer. So you're on an immediate advantage, not just because you're getting the first go at scoring, but also it gives you the chance to control who gets the even ends, and they're already building up to who's going to score in ends 6 and 8. So it's a massive thing in curling. So it's good in this coverage that we're able to get the draw shot challenge live.
Well, a massive mistake from Benoit Schwartz there. Completely missed the house. So it will be Schwaller, who has last stone advantage in this matchup. And I do think that the last stone advantage is really key in this game, Rob.
Yeah, especially for these two teams that know each other well. They'll know each other's tactics and they'll know who wants to play the game. I wonder if that might have picked, because the guys are fairly astonished he was that far off. Or they seem pretty relaxed about it, but you're right. That'll be hurting that they've lost first blood to the younger team of Schwaller.
Après, la première c'était 14-3, c'était nature 5.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier they met each other on Thursday in the A road, and Peter de Cruz's team came through 5-2, so relatively comfortable, and so they'll be feeding off that they won the early matchup. But they've had similar routes. They've both won 3 and lost 1 so far, so they'll be comfortable and confident.
So this is Valentin Tanner for Team de Cruz. Gets us underway in this first end here at the Mercure Perth Masters. And this event really couldn't go on without the sponsors, could it, Rob?
No, we're very grateful for the depth and the diversity of sponsors. They've been pretty committed to supporting the event over the years. You'll see them branded around the sheet, and you know, couldn't go ahead without the Mercure City Mills Hotel and Perth Honda supplying the cars, Perth and Kinross Council. We've got lots of transport for the outside coaches, and of course the event here itself, Live Active Leisure, putting on such a great ice pad for us. Of course, the World Curling Tour are bringing these pictures together for us. We couldn't have done it without the TV team here. It's fantastic. It's a lot more professional job than we've ever had, so it's really stepped up the coverage.
Yeah, it really is a great facility here. We're bringing great pictures from the Jewish Centre in Perth. Let's hope we're in for a great matchup between these two Swiss sides.
So Peter de Cruz has started with a predictable uptight centre guard, not taking too many chances with that, but Schwaller's not wasted any time. He's come round it rather than throwing the corner. We saw a lot of teams earlier on the weekend going corner guard and reply to the centre call. Probably a bit more defensive by coming round it.
Yeah, teams now with this 5-rock free guard zone have a real distinct way of playing the game now. There's not a let's play it this way, this end, let's play it that way, the other. It's very much structured in how they go about trying to construct a multiple score.
Yeah, the advantage is very much gone more in favour of the last stone team, and really it suits attacking curling. And with the ice here this weekend, the best conditions are probably ends probably 2 to 6, and first couple of ends people really try and attack. That one that the Team de Cruz through was just staying a little bit straight on the intern there, so it's allowed Schwaller to come round and tap it back and sit at the back here out the way.
Yeah, so this is something we have seen now with this 5-rock free guard zone. Rather than get yourself in trouble, teams are going early to bail out. So rather than chase this around the centre or just nose that wide red, they're going after the red in behind. They're going to drive the yellow right back.
Yeah, taking no chances. I think the option of the one at the back as well has probably meant he can probably run this, and that's an error. He could probably have run it on the other side and maybe flicked it one or other. This way he's held the pressure on himself.
Okay. Yeah, it was a tiny bit wide. Very just ever slightly.
Yeah, Team Schwaller just trying to keep the stones spread as far as he can. I mean, I think they'll drive that yellow again, so he's trying to put the red in a position where it's not so easy to run the yellow into it, so he's going wide.
Maybe we can tap Is too much risk.
Was? Tap.
Schwaller lang, nog even niet al lang. Ben je dat roef?
Looks hot at the moment.
Ja, er is
Yeah, just throwing something
Ga je me
in on top of the red out wide.
Ik ben even. Friseros. Ja.
That'll do well to hang on.
Dus dat zie ik mij niet.
Yeah, that's a bonus for Peter de Cruz's team.
I can hit 2/3.
I think we'll try running this guard again. Maybe he's got the double on now. You can probably see half stone. If he hits what he sees, he might be able to lift them both, and he's still protecting his centre guard.
Ok, 9. Ok. I think, je crois qu'il faut que je prenne exactement ce que je vois.
Je crois aussi, ouais.
Ouais, exactement.
Yeah, just going to like to run the guard back once again. Well, no, they're just taking ice to try and maybe play the slash. So trying to drive the red onto the wide red.
Yeah, I think if he hits what he sees, he's still going to be left to the centre guard, so he's still in quite a good position. Amazing how quickly the end turned round from a position where he could have been line 3 against. He's now potentially got a shot to lift the double and still protect the centre. That's curling. Yeah, it's all over the guard. Okay, so some early errors. I don't think Yannick Schwaller will be too upset.
Beaucoup curly. Hein? Beaucoup curly. Hein?
Ça a bien curlé.
À ce côté, il est très.
Un peu comme ça.
Je pense.
So Yannick Schwaller, the younger team, the new pretenders, if you like. Still a strong team on the World Tour. They're creeping up the world rankings. They're as high as 16 now, so they're getting some entries into the Grand Slams and featuring the World Cup Series events. So a young team but with loads of experience.
Yeah, that's what most of these teams are electing to play a lot of the tour now. If you play enough games in the tour, you get yourself in that top 16 and get yourselves a slot at the slams. And that's where the big money is, and that's where the professional curling career can happen for you as an athlete.
Trois quarts.
Ouais. Oui.
Yeah, as well as the cash wheel events, obviously, with a strength of field multiplier, it keeps you higher up the rankings and self-perpetuates your position there. So to really be in the top elite of world curling at the moment, you've got to commit to good shot. You've got to commit to the world tour and just get yourself in the top 20 and try and play as many of the big spiels as you can. So it was hard for Schwaller not to leave a double somewhere on the sheet there, so he drew wide to protect the one on the top of the 4 foot. Left the double, unfortunately, but he's just going to go wide again and try and protect the 2 that he's already created.
Yeah, there are other ways. You possibly could throw the centre guard on this, which I thought they might do, especially on slightly straighter ice like Michael Brunner.
8, 4. Vliegen. Kan het zeer veel.
Caught the sweepers out a wee bit. They were happy with the split, but it seemed to sit down on them.
Well, big mistake there from sweepers and Michael Brunner, not even hitting the paint.
Yeah, they sat back off it early. I think it was just as it came off that centre line, it hit some colder ice and caught them out, leaving Sven Mikkel here. Straightforward, controlled weight, hit and line. Nice shot in behind the corner guard. Wasn't really what he called initially.
That's certainly not what he called, because if you have anything about you, you're not going to want to play in about the corner guard. You roll the open side and keep the play away from it and try and force the blank. You can certainly give up a 2 by going behind the corner guard.
Yeah, another sweeping error, because they could have bowled that and kept it up high.
that.
Got a bit more positive throw from Michael Brunner.
It's too long for me.
Oh, 12! Oh, Linies uit! Oh! Oh, Linies gaan nu!
This one's sitting awfully high.
Yeah, different track completely.
Go bring hem vol. Pas vol 3.
Ja.
So sweeping to go around the cover, but
Whoa.
it's not going to be a shot. So strange dilemma now for De Cruz. He's going to have to keep chasing around his corner guard, which isn't ideal. So we might see him go completely opposite and force the one, which he would be delighted with.
Yeah, they're going to try and draw the opposite side and sit 2.
On a joué là, ça va aller la vitesse, je pense. Ça va aller assez vite. Non. On a joué là, Val, toute ta zone.
On met une ligne, on a déjà joué là.
So that Yellowstone on the right hand side of that scoring 12-foot area, the red circle. That is a shot stone.
So he's probably going to want to be T-line minimum here. If he's any higher than that, there is the outside chance of leaving a cross-court double to lie 2 behind the corner guard. So he's going to want to be reasonably deep in the house this time. Sweeper's on it early.
Ligne ok. 3. Sans les gars, allez. 2 là.
Allez les gars, allez très bien.
5.
Allez Val.
No worries about directional sweeping this time.
Allez Val.
Both sweepers just making sure it gets in for
Continue, go.
at least second shot.
Go.
Yeah, they were always pretty good, but they were aware that if they left it any higher than that, it left the potential of the hit and roll across.
Roll. We willen vast snel houden.
Vind je goed,
So good separation between the stones. Why is it so important to get good separation, Rob?
Well, they don't want to leave a relatively easy double. Clearly, they're still exposed with that red counter at the back. There's a potential to give away a soft 2. So to keep them apart, they're forcing the one, which is going to be ideal for Team De Cruz if they can.
This is skipping 4th player from Yannick Schwaller. Playing lots of weight. A little narrow with this one. Hits, rolls right across. Takes his own red out at the back as well.
Yeah, not a huge amount of control. So nothing's really changed. They've lost the one at the back there. So Benoit Schwartz just suggesting perhaps we could come at the top here, make his draw harder, make sure he hasn't got an easy hit and stick. So if he hits the front one, he's not going to be line shot. It forces him to play in a draw after he's already played a hit.
Yeah, I think you throw this one on the end turn just to the edge of the 4, edge of the 8 on the right hand side of the sheet, but they're electing to throw top 12. If you throw top 12, you slip to the top of the 8 foot, you leave half stone double that you might be able to get away with blank in the end.
Yeah.
Maybe just underthought this one.
Yeah, if they're going for the genuine force, it wouldn't have been wrong to have. Oh, Benoit short with that number 8 stone again. Yeah, he doesn't like it. He's pointing at the stone. It's the stones are slightly different. The top players can just feel a little difference in the speed, and it's obviously one that he's not happy with. He threw that one at the draw shot, remember, and it came up short. He's still accusing the stone of coming up short again.
We're going to draw in fall.
He's got the outside chance here, Kenny, of playing a blank. I think they're looking at just driving it back and hopefully blanking the end.
No, just the indication he just gave, he pointed towards the bottom.
He's
going to take his one.
Zijn we zeker helemaal waar is?
Ja, aber er ist in Stein nicht viel, er ist ja vorher rausgezogen.
Aber wie ist es im Vorherigen, wie im Vorherigen oder ist es nicht?
Ich würde sagen Ende, vorheriger Match.
Ja. Also nicht mehr wie beim LSD?
Es ist Mühe härter.
Yes, Peter De Cruz would like to have had a bit more pressure on the draw here. He would have liked to have 2 counters in there.
So final stone of this first end, Yannick Schwaller. Just trying to throw this one into the white 8-foot area. Just needs a piece.
He's really pushed that one out onto the brush. It's kept it out longer than he might have thought, but safety first, and he looks pretty good for being on the tee line.
I'm going to sweep this one. Is it going to hang around? Yeah, it is. Pedro de Cruz couldn't do enough. And it will be a score of 1 for Schwaller in this first. So first blood to Team Schwaller. All Swiss encounter.
I don't think Peter de Cruz's team will be too upset by that. There's a couple of slack shots in there. They're just finding their way, and to get away with only losing a 1 when you don't have hammer was a reasonable result for them. A few errors from both teams. There are certainly opportunities there. But we'll see. Roles reverse this time. The young Swiss team will head off first and put some guards up. They'll go centre guards and see if they can steal their way back in again. Team Schwaller's success earlier on this season by winning the Swiss Cup. They've also won the Oakville Tankard across in Canada. So, like I said earlier, they're edging their way up the World Tour all the time. Their experience of finals is good, so they'll not be counting themselves out.
Länger dan dit. Dat is vast 12, oder? Ja. Nee, die is er niet. 15-4. Goed.
Yeah, nice stone. So, this was the tactic I talked about at the last end, where Team Schwaller elected to come in round the centre guard. Team de Cruz have elected to try and go corner guard.
Niño que.
Both teams will have their own strategy, and just the easier way of finessing a 2. But we'll see Marcel Kaufeler certainly going round the centre guard this time.
Michi. 8, 4. Michi Moors.
Weight looks good. Michael Brunner switching on the reverse side to try and get it to curl more. Yeah, pretty good attempt.
Okay.
So with a 5-rock rule, there can still only not remove that red from play. So Cruz is talking about just playing a wee split off it, trying to protect the corner guard he's already played.
Yeah, Rob, we talk about the 5-rock rule. It's still in its infancy, isn't it?
Yeah, teams are coming to terms with it. It's obviously played in slams the previous year, but now it's adopted over all the World Curling Federation events. So it's certainly given the teams more chance to catch up. For a while there was once teams got a lead, they'd become so good at playing the tick shot in the centre guards that it was relatively easy to defend a sort of 2-shot lead, whereas now even teams with a 3-shot lead can come back quite comfortably.
Michi! Michi! Nehmen 2, 3! Michi!
Schwaller looking to guard this stone on the centre line. Possibly over curling?
Yeah, it's going this time, isn't it? Yeah, you'll see all of that from the far end, I think. especially with the staggered corner guards, they've given themselves a bit of cover if you can come down here at a barrier weight, bumper weight, just to try and get a bit of control on the played stone. Talked about the different lineups. This is actually Peter Cruz's skip throwing second stone, so this is where the feel for these tap back weights comes in, and it's really a case of calling your own ice. So
it does make a nice hit and roll in behind that corner guard. Does force Schwaller to chase him, really.
Yeah, I don't think he likes the setup at the moment here. He'll definitely try and play the run back, and even if he just takes the top one, and even if he just rolls into the centre, he'll be quite happy.
Yep. Shoot the loser. Oh, sorry.
He's taking it off anyway, so we're happy enough with that.
Yeah, straightforward chance to sit two for Peter de Cruz.
C'était pas moi. Ouais, non, c'était bien.
Yeah, and with them spread out, and still got the powerful corner guard up on the right-hand side of the screen there, you saw.
Well, he might throw a corner guard on the yellow already sitting shot. Try and create a chance for three, but electing to just play the nose hit.
Yeah, I don't mind that call, Kenny. I think he's in a good position to get two. He's still got to force Team Schwaller to make some shots here early on in the game. One mistake from Team Schwaller here, and you'll maybe still see coming down that guard, opening up the chance of a three.
Achtung! Yep! Whoa! Cello! Yep!
Has he made the roll? Not enough, just needs to roll another couple of feet and he's perfect.
Mich, schon noch viel gemacht, hä? Hat noch viel gemacht. Ja, ist clear.
Yeah, so de Cruz has still got a chance to try and manoeuvre the played stone in behind the corner after he makes connection, so he'll be happy with the setup.
Attention. 10. Plus.
So playing third stones today, Sven Mikkel used to have his own team with quite a lot of success.
Yeah, European silver medalist. Picked up many titles, to be fair. Was always in the sort of top 15 to 20 in the World Curling Tour, electing to jump to play with Peter de Cruz.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, it's a pretty good combination. They've come through from actually making the final here in Perth at the World Juniors, and they've had repeat success ever since. So they're a good lineup, not to be underestimated.
A few mistakes beginning to creep into this second end.
Yeah, a lot of half stones, really, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of half shots, hitting and rolling, just not quite catching the stone exactly where they want it. Very long days for these players, isn't it, here at the Perth Masters?
Yeah, absolutely. The format of the triple knockout means that you could end up playing 3, sometimes 4 games in the same day, just if you end up losing games at the wrong time. So the reward is, if you win your games, you have less games. If you lose your games, you have to play more often. You drop down into a different league. You can always get back up into the playoffs, and that's what these teams are trying to do. Just make sure they qualify for the Sunday playoffs.
Ligne, c'est bien. 5, 6, ligne parfaite. Ligne parfaite, ça fait trop.
You surprised he's going around the centre guard here rather than going around the corner guard, Kenny?
I think it's late in the end. He's worried that if he goes around the wide corner, Schwaller just come around the centre and he's forced to chase him, and he might end up forced to take his one. So that's why he's electing to go around the centre first. If you can get in there first, top of the forefoot, he's going to chase you.
Yeah, I think just those words you've just said, top of the forefoot, shows that he's maybe just drifted too far. Yannick Schwaller can probably see half the stone. He's got the opportunity to play the freeze and come right down and sit right on top of it. Still going to play the same hand though. Probably see more of it because that guard's long, so you can probably see more on the out-turn hand, but they're favouring the in-turn again.
so einfach.
Ich bleibe auch, ich will auch
Das ist eine gerade Seite da, oder?
Ich finde den gut.
Gut, ja. Es ist wirklich wieder sehr viel wie Anfangs letztes Mal.
Spur ist gleich wie die gespielt hast.
Ja.
Habe ich das Gefühl.
Gut. T-Line ist schon eine Spur Bounce, gell?
Just sorting out the speed he wants to be thrown. It's the speed for T-line.
Schon okay, ja.
Gut.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've seen about 13.2 seconds between the two hog lines.
Interesting that the two sweepers there were giving him a split, giving him an indication of what the weight was, but neither of them were working a stopwatch. Just confident that they know the ice, they know the weight.
Länge nie.
This one looks okay, can't afford to bounce though.
Yeah, just popped it a wee bit. Yeah, he's just slightly disappointed. It wasn't far away from being perfect.
J'aurais dit milieu 8. Ouais, ça c'est vraiment bien, je pense. Pas plus, hein, je pense. Pour Sven, j'ai mis ça. Ça va être
Give Peter de Cruz or Benoit Schwartz the chance just to come right on top of it. Maybe pop it even back to lie to.
Plus ça. Ouais.
10, ouais.
Il faut être.
13-7.
Ouais, lui,
13,5.
14-2. Hein.
Ouais,
Il faut 13,5, je pense.
Ouais, exact.
Both these teams actually, although they're from different towns in Switzerland, play much of the curling at the new National Academy in Biel.
10, 9,
So they know each other pretty well.
10.
Practicing under similar ice conditions.
Non, 9.
10.
Juste 9.
Early call on weight.
Traverse.
Wow.
He's got a lot of drawing to do.
Sven, ouais. Yeah.
Mikel just trying to drag it with a reverse swing.
Rouge pique.
Well, not the worst shot in the world. What he has done is left himself sitting shot. Third shot.
Het is sport, hè?
Yeah, the one on the button's pretty open though. I think Schwaller will be just trying to remove that from play. Play a bit heavier than his first one, just enough to tap it back and potentially lie two with a bit of backing behind it. A good roll on both behind the cover. Just with the ice there, I'm thinking he's probably just going to be throwing almost a hack weight rather than a tap back weight.
Vinden Sie es gut?
Ja, was hast du das Gefühl, was macht?
Sehr mag's nicht.
Das hast du noch mehr wenig.
Die Seite macht schon noch etwas.
Ja.
You can see whole stone. There's no point in trying to be too clever and finessing it and leaving it back. I think he'll be trying to remove this from play.
Yeah, only two stones to come in this second end.
Sweeper again, giving the early call on the ice. That's beginning to cut now. He's played a pretty good stone here, Kelly. Get a slight roll on the inside. Lovely shot.
Lovely shot, and that forces Benoit Schwartz to draw the pin for a single point against two.
Yeah, that just showed the effect of the bounce in the first one. Just left it lying open and opened Yannick Schwaller's opportunity there. Big stone in the game here. And he's, I never noticed whether he's still throwing that stone that he didn't like, whether they've maybe swapped it around early on. He'll not fancy playing that one if he thinks it's a bit of a rock.
Yeah, this could just be in his head a little bit. So this is the final stone of the second end. Let's see if he can make this one.
They all seem quite happy with it at the moment.
8.
Valentin Tanner saying he doesn't need any for weight. Calling 8-9, so it's back 4 weight.
Needs some backing, that's what they're calling.
Oh, that's going to drift past. There's nothing to hold that back. 2 against the head.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so what we find is that Schwaller is 3-0 ahead after 2 ends against Team de Cruz. So a great start for the youngsters.
Very hard for Benoit there. He obviously, I think they had swapped the stones around, and having been up short in the draw shot challenge and the draw at the first, he's obviously taken another stone, and it has run quicker for him, and he's just been caught out and moving the stones around. Even if that didn't happen, it was certainly in his head it happened. That's the way he'll be calling it.
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. But with this 5-rock rule, it's very hard to defend. All you need to do is take 2, force 1, take 2, force 1. You might get half a sniff at a 3.
Oh yeah, with their experience, they'll be patient enough. I think we'll obviously see Yannick Schwaller trying to call the play in the house so he can control it a little bit more, potentially force a 1 just, get the hammer back and still have a sizable lead. But yeah, we're going to see some yellow guards up here. He'll probably go with double corner guard and try and create multiple chances. Trying to be very precise there, making sure it's not too deep.
Yeah, it's just a little bit off centre, so a very good shot all the same. A little bit of change of tactic now from Team Schwaller. They're leading by 3. We'll see Team de Cruz take a little more risk in this third end.
Yeah, I think they'll not mind leaving a few reds lying around. They'll go corner guard on both sides, and they'll be happy enough just seeing a few reds in there. Will give them something to sit on. It's amazing that one big shot that Yannick Schwaller played has made such a big impact in the game. I wouldn't have said there's been an awful lot between the teams at the moment, but a 3-stone lead now is going to create some fireworks from Team de Cruz, I'm sure. Paul would be coming to the house here, but no, he's left it high. I guess the risk, if you come into the house, there's a chance you could play the double and roll behind the corner. Oh well, they're not going for the double corner guard, they're going to come right in. Try and freeze that, put the yellow just where Peter de Cruz put his brush there, so they're not going out all guns blazing yet.
Yeah, I think he's just got to be patient in these situations, Rob. Just maybe take your 2 and force the 1. Take your 2 and then you're all level again. Yeah, pretty nice stand here. He's maybe just run out of legs a little bit towards the end. It's feathered the guard. But it's short the house, so he'll not be able to remove it yet. Or is it short the house?
Ich will nicht den Guard spielen.
No hesitation.
Will den Guard. Ja, was willst du sonst? Wenn er einfach versenkt, ist gut, oder? Ja, böse das spielen nicht. Das ist auch nichts. Ich finde Guard gut, 2 bis 3.
Just freeze the pocket and do the call, Rob, I think.
Ja.
Yeah, chokes up that side of the sheet. It's calling 2, which is just really a foot short of the house. So. Of course, in the 4-rock rule, you see no hesitation about him slashing a couple of guards off here, but with the 5-rock rule, he's almost forced to throw an extra guard.
Romano Meyer looking for this one. Just short of the stones at the top of the house.
Ja. Muss können, muss viel können noch. Komm, Cello. Komm.
Just a bit long from what they were looking for, I think. I think they wanted a bit closer there.
C'est comme au premier end.
Un petit trois quarts.
I think you can see enough there, Kenny, to do the run back.
It's very tight, Rob. Very, very tight.
Just maybe hit the single and maybe leave the Yellowstone in play. Slight roll to the left here. Yeah, it's close. Oh, he stiffed it. Yeah, pretty good attempt. But at least it's got it out the 4-foot circle, and he's got plenty of yellows up there to use. Almost needed it to sweat that a little bit harder and try to get the yellow further across. He might have feathered it on the way past. So Team Schwaller just asking his team, would you rather remove the yellow or do you want to come back in again? I think they're going for a draw through this port and pile the agony on.
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. I think with being 3 up, you don't need to defend too much. Chance to attack again. Something into the top of the 4-foot.
Just nothing for line. Weight's pretty good and it's curling an awful lot at the end there. Lovely stone, maybe just heavy enough. So he's gone back T, so that's given Peter de Cruz a chance to come down here on the out turn. We saw how much that curled, so yeah, just a bit less weight.
Yeah, very poor shot, to be honest. Drifting to the back of the tee line. Couldn't really afford anywhere short in that gap. Top of the house would have been fine, but drifting back of the tee allows Benoit Schwartz and Peter de Cruz just to throw another one right in on top of it and try and construct a 2.
Yeah, I think the textbook shot when you're 3 up might have been to try and do something on guards. He's actually ironically created an opening here by leaving it.
6, 7, 6, seul vitesse, seul.
He's got a lot of curling to do and I think he's just a touch heavy too.
Ici.
Trying to drag it at the end, but yeah, pretty good attempt. Just a little bit deep there as well, Kenny. It's given him the chance to Schwaller to come back in on top of it again.
Yeah, maybe just a foot too deep. But what he's done, he's asked the question. And that's what these top teams do. They ask the question. They always force you to play a shot to win the game. And force you to play a shot to score multiple points.
In een vier. Voor de 4.
Oh, nog niet goed.
Die niet goed.
Wedstrijd achter.
Voor de 4. Cello.
Ploeg.
Dat is toch goed?
Yeah, a little bit lighter weight. It's catching the draw earlier, but
Bring hem nog iets.
he's got to be up.
Saran even al geweest.
Kijk.
Well, they're saying okay. It is still one yellow line.
It's difficult now for Team de Cruz to try and chase that. If they chase it, slip past the red, they might leave a double.
Yeah, he initially indicated the outturn draw around the outside. Risk with that is you set up a double, you could be line 3 against. I think that's probably the preferred position, but he's got to make sure he's right round. He doesn't want to be half round here. Not a lot on the intern side. A potential run back into the reds, but he could still feather his own one out. He knows that it draws a lot on this handle here.
Ligne c'est bien. Oui. 7. Oui. 7. Oui. Ligne c'est bien. Ligne c'est bien. 7 seul. Tiens. 7, 8. Place.
This one's sitting a little high at the moment.
Ligne parfaite. En tout cas 8.
Oh, presque 9.
Yeah, it really comes at the end, but it's just a little bit deep this time.
13-5.
I think the ice was probably about right, but you can see there he's almost back line weight. Yeah, pretty poor. But Mikel's not had a draw yet. He's been playing these hack weight tap backs, so.
Sauber zo.
Nee, tussendoor.
Difficult to know what Schwaller does here. he can come in again and
Is es
potentially
so?
just force the one.
Schnell, ich sehe, drück.
Yeah, I think that's the call, Robbie. Come down through the port and corner freeze in the yellow.
Yeah.
And tie up the button, narrow that scoring area.
Looking at running this
Wees je
guard,
met een
but
goud even clearen.
running the guard still gives them the option of playing the out-turn draw onto the yellow that we see there, and potentially leaving a difficult to move two yellows.
Nee, Ine wees. Dat liet goed.
Ja.
Met dat clearen gaan we weer aan van beide zijden, oder?
Ja.
Im Moment könnten wir eigentlich schon so ein Board zwischendurch und wir wären wieder... Wären wir schon.
He still doesn't like that yellow there. I'm wondering whether he's going to try and run it and maybe even leave his own one.
Gut, dann machst du ihn auch wieder auf.
Das ging die, aber ist schwierig, hä?
So what's the downside? He runs that yellow. Can he really jam one of those
Da
reds?
machen wir ihm überall Sachen auf, wenn
Ich
wir über
auch.
die
I think
Galben
he
gehen.
probably could, Rob.
Können wir so etwas probieren, nicht?
Wie lang?
Nicht rausdrücken.
He's got to be quite bad. He's got to be quite high on the side to jam it on the top
in
red.
4, hier Shot. Oder so ein Sport Plus und nicht über den Streifen.
Wir sind fast schneller wie vor
Ich finde hinten 4 gut.
Sehr schwierig.
He's certainly not
Wir
looking
tun
at the draw.
vorbei, aber es ist easy.
Yeah, great
In a
shot
fear.
there at the overhead. You
Yeah.
can see that the
fear,
yellow on
yeah.
the top left of the shot can be driven back onto the one in the button,
Gut,
that
corner free
white
game first.
area closest to that cross, the tee line, back onto the other red. So you could just tap the yellow back into the crotch. Looking very good.
Well, he's not lining himself up against the stone. I suspect he's playing the draw after all, is he? Basically coming through that same port they've been coming down and corner freezing either the yellow or the top red. Big revolutions on the release there, Kenny. I'm wondering he's trying to take a bit of the swing off the ice and just get a bit more control of the stone.
Yeah, even if you do catch the red, they'll kick to the right and behind the yellow as well.
Yeah, get a feather off the top one. Oh.
I think they possibly lost that, Rob.
Yeah, they wanted a bit fatter or right through the port onto the shot. They caught in between the two. Just there. It's actually opened the shot up a little bit more. There's probably another half inch you can see that he couldn't see before.
Ça c'est rien, hein? I think so. Huh? Oh, okay. Okay. So it opens up a bit? No. I mean,
But that's...
I think it's...
With this we can go to... We can
Still
come
going to
to
be
here.
very
you can even tap
difficult
it here, it's
for
fine. Yeah. Okay, there you go.
the
I think
Cruz
it's
to
about
score
2/3.
multiple points
But if
in
it's
this
disaster then...
third end.
Half
Yeah,
is
he's
too
talking
thin, I
about-
think, for a tap. I think
Mikkel's come
2/3
down
you're
and
gonna right here.
suggested maybe tapping up the yellow, getting it
No,
into
the
that
rock now is
area
still
there. It
moving
would
along.
make
So
it
I'd
difficult to
say
move, and also
back 8.
increases the area of the scoring zone. But
About the same weight.
I think it's quite difficult to come in and lie second shot coming through the port. You saw that with Michael Brunner's second stone there.
Vielleicht einfacher, oder? Weder als direkt. Es gibt nicht viel Platz da.
Got to watch and not leave a double here, because the played stone's always going to end up on the right hand side of the sheet. If he only gets this halfway across, it could leave a nose hit double to leave 4 reds if he gets it wrong. So got to make sure he gets it right back into the cover.
Yeah, solid slide from Mikkel. Trying to get something going here in this third end. The Cruz yet to get on the board.
Yep.
It's got a good angle here. It's just heavy enough.
Well, probably finds the worst spot he could have.
Pretty unlucky. He's still line 2, half covered. It's just it's created quite a big pocket there for Yannick Schwaller. Just come in, tap it back, and roll across the face onto the other one. It'd be need a helicopter to get it out if he gets this right.
Yeah, just sneak past this red guard. And
Am besten wäre,
catch enough of the
Michi,
yellow on
das
the
Beste
left
wäre
to push
genau
out
mit
for
3.
second shot.
Smith 3 wäre das Beste.
Ja.
Play this at hack weight.
I think that's just what the Yannick and Michael are just talking about there. They're just sorting out what weight they want to play. They want to be positive enough. If they drop the weight too much, it's going to over curl because it does swing coming in there. So I think you're right. He's going to play a hack weight enough to play a firm tap on the yellow we can see and try and get slightly on the inside. Roll across the face.
Plus 2.
Ramu! Ramu!
Yeah, it's even heavier than hack.
Bringen!
It's curling now though.
Bringen, Ruben! Door.
Yeah, perfect.
Atta boy.
Well, that's one way of doing it. Just sticking the red right on top of the yellow.
Hein?
Direct, je pense que malheureusement pas là.
Je suis même sûr que c'est pas là. Après, est-ce qu'on se laisse des options
Yeah, it's left Team de Cruz looking at circus shots off the two yellows on the outside here.
Non. Parce qu'il y a de toute
There's
façon
a
ça.
potential double, but I don't think he can see enough of the close yellow. He's going to have to play the wider one that
Et la bonne
Valentin
tendance, c'est...
Tanner is looking
Ça, quoi.
at.
Ça, c'est bien aussi.
Ouais. Fais ça.
C'est 4-5e.
It's not an ideal shot that you want to play when you're 3 down with 2 to play.
D'accord. OK.
So that yellow on the left-hand side of the screen, that's the one they're going to try and drive into the 2 reds, potentially trying to move the one off the button. I think they're hoping if they can catch the top red, which is the middle one in the screen there, and drive the one that's nearest the cross right through between the 2 yellows at the back. Sounds like he's overthrown it, Kenny, slightly. It's on the high side at the moment. Yeah, he just didn't catch enough of it.
OK.
Well, has he done something?
I think it's just in for second shot. Certainly improved the situation. It's made that red more exposed now.
Des options.
The risk is if they don't cover that red, then the chance of the 2 is still alive. So
Ce mec va pisser. Il y en a plus.
Well, what you could do is just play the in turn, so it'd swing away from the centre and play the double on the in turn.
probably still leaves a yellow.
Toujours la même chose.
Yeah, the risk is he's lying. Yellows are lying second and third, so he wants to make sure that he doesn't leave an easy drive back to lose a 3.
Wir müssen den können wir ihm schon nicht lassen.
Hä?
Können wir den schon nicht lassen.
Also der einfach schon momentan hat, ist direkt, gell?
If he plays the red onto the red that you were talking about, I don't think that
Das ist der
yellow is going very far, so he's almost get another counter in there somehow, or guard it at the top of the 8 foot.
Bon, après, s'il est
Ja.
malade,
Das ist noch schwierig, dass der dann immer noch zum Zählen kommt.
Yeah, I think you play the guard, Rob, and say, okay, you come along and play a great shot to try and make your 2 or 3.
Stimmt.
Wo hat er den Besen? Hat er den oben? Gut.
Sag doch das, hey.
It's a dilemma for him. I mean, he can come right in here.
Zei
He plays it perfectly. It'll leave Benoit Schwartz with no shot. But if he gets it just half wrong, if it sits on the centre line there, he might have a nose hit where both reds will go spring and potentially leave a 3. So
Nur 3 Minuten kostet es.
3 Minuten.
Keine Ahnung.
Du ja hure müssen.
Easy jetzt versenken, das ist gut.
Gute Guard, hä?
Easy Ladezeit.
So the call's just to plug the hole at the moment. You see the amount of ice he's taking there reflects the amount of swing we're getting. So I think he's going for a longer guard. I think they were taking less ice there when they were trying to come through the port. So just to try and touch the centre line, leaving it short of the house. He'll leave the Cruz the run back in his own one to try and stick it for a 3 still.
Yeah, so we're down to the last 2 stones in this story.
Zwei!
Schwaller
Is goed.
electing just to block the gap.
Well then.
But he needs to be quite deep here, Rob, just to stop the drive in and that Yellowstone wide.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's had to leave him one of the 2. If he'd come too deep, he's leaving the red onto the red, whereas this way he's leaving yellow onto red. So
Croix, c'est la moitié. OK. Et si ça prend 2 tiers, ça fait
Schwartz won't
sûrement
mind
ça.
this too much. He catches any of the stone, he's probably picking up a 2.
Tac, il faut, ouais.
He's got to get it absolutely plumb to get his 3.
Une moitié, c'est proche.
And I don't think he's got anything to lose. The risk is if he hits it on the nose, he might lift his 2 yellows out and potentially lose a
Moitié, 2
multiple.
tiers, ça fait quelque chose de bien aussi, 3 quarts
Just
aussi.
to make sure he's on the high side.
Pour 8, faut pas moins, je pense. Ouais.
Faut pas être serré.
Ouais.
Pas être tight.
Je veux pas le Fox,
He's no option. He's 3 down. He's got to throw the dice here and try and get this right.
Absolutely, Rob. You got to throw it
Moitié,
and
c'est vraiment
hope
bien.
for the best. To be fair though, you can catch it high off the top red. If you're going to error anyway, you err on the high side.
Yeah, because if he misses, he's 4 down. If he gets it very terrible and drives it into his yellows, he's 5 down. So it's he's got to make sure he makes some sort of connection here.
So final stone of this third end. Must be close.
I think they like it.
Yes,
on the high
this
side.
is good, Rob. This is good. There you go. And it's a score of 3. What a shot for Benoit Schwartz. Drives the yellow. Does get a little lucky by taking it off his own, but that was the only way of making that shot.
Absolutely fantastic, Kenny. You're absolutely right. You called it earlier that they had the option of using that one. So really, if they were going to be wrong on the high side, and you had 2 options to make that shot. So absolutely fantastic, and it brings us back into a game. Just see the replay here. They knew they liked it all the way down. There was a yes, no, and then absolutely stuck it onto it. The accuracy there is unbelievable because the speed of those stones are travelling. For it not to have a spin off the top there, that's just what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm not too sure that Schwaller was too impressed with that shot, let's say.
Well, I think a little bit of inexperience there, even leaving that shot on. If he'd come a little bit deeper, the worst case scenario is he loses a 2, which is hard to defend against. He left a long guard, and actually it left him the chance of the 3. I think more experienced teams might have come right in top there and just said, well, you're going to have to play a big shot to get your 2. I'm certainly not leaving you a chance of a 3. So scores all tied up. We couldn't have hoped for anything better as a neutral. 3 all after 3. Yannick Schwaller calling the corner guard there, and Marcel Kaufeler just coming a little bit too deep. No hesitation from Peter de Cruz to take this one out. Hit it just inside, maybe roll into the centre line. Left-handed Valentin Tanner playing the intern, looking for a nose hit. Just on the high side. Okay, so half stone there from Tanner, but he'll be pretty relaxed. Line 1 in the house with no guards up, so.
So, big swing now. It's from 3-0 ahead to looking like stealing in that third end. We're into the fourth. It's all square, 3-3. And you've got to say that de Cruz are just clinging on to Schwaller, aren't they?
Well, that's right. I mean, they've obviously been outplayed the first 3 ends, and Schwaller will be thinking, what more do I need to do? He could have been 5 up. Instead, he's looked at the scoreboard and it's 3 all. So de Cruz will maybe have some momentum with him now. Obviously not able to remove that corner guard with this one. They're going to throw a tight guard on the one they've got in the centre house.
C'est proche, hein?
C'est très très proche. Je pense que c'est 4.
Position of really chasing the game
Non, c'est
to
4. Non, c'est 3.
C'est complètement ouvert, je pense.
now playing a more conventional defence. Just drifted a wee bit too far, but he's still left the centre guard up. Probably see most of this. Yannick Schwaller's got the chance just to call a hack weight on the out turn. Just for Romano Meyer, hack weight on the out turn right-hander. He'll just play trying to hit a wee flop behind the corner guard on the left-hand side of your screen as we'll be looking at it. Sweeping to try and keep it straight there. Yeah, just on the nose. Not bad, just be slightly disappointed. He didn't get some kind of roll in behind the cover. Just left to Cruz the same shot. He'll probably try and keep this on the nose, try and keep it in the centre. Try and keep the emphasis on that centre guard. Just high at the moment. Tanner's trying to actually make it develop more of a curl there, but yeah, he's gone behind the corner. Wasn't exactly what they wanted, but it's given Schwaller a chance to come round and give him a bit of backing.
Yeah, the play is away from the centre though, so there's no real danger for Schwaller.
T-line! Länge in hier, Länge in hier!
Linie müsste mehr!
Länge ist gut! T! Länge in hier, Länge in hier! Länge in hier!
So they've got a lot of curling ahead of them. That just looks a little bit deep. Yeah, that's a poor attempt, really. Free draw effectively and slipped back into second shot. So the Cruz will just be able to ignore this. He'll not want to get sucked into a chasing game round a corner guard when he hasn't got the last stone. So he's going to try and drag the initiative of the end back into the centre, where he can either steal or force. Well, Sven Mikkel was a little bit deep with his last draw, so he's just trying to sort out what is the speed here. Team de Cruz favouring stopwatches. Yannick Schwaller just calling the speed without actually using the stopwatch.
Ligne bien. 7. Ligne parfaite.
C'est gentil.
Non, pas loin.
Seul, puis seul.
Large devant.
6-7.
Large devant.
Ganz weg. Ganz weg.
Pretty good attempt. It's pretty perfect. He'll be happy with that. Happy enough that Schwaller showed no hesitation. He's going to run this guard back. He could lift the double in yellows and develop a corner guard if he leaves the red sitting up there. Alternatively, just half it off and maybe pick the one off the side. Okay, de Cruz calling just to replace it again. He's liking the setup the way he is. Mikkel will just cut the weight a little bit here and leave it a foot shorter, just making that run back harder for Team Schwaller.
Yeah, very scrappy end this fourth, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah, and I think the scrappy end will it'll be suiting Peter de Cruz's team.
Yeah, I think they know they've not been in this game for the first 2 or 3 ends, so they're just trying to maybe settle down in this fourth and try and create something.
Yeah, nice guard. They've left it right on the centre line. It's arguably a bit of a teaser. It's further out. Yeah. Problem here is he does make the run back. He's going to leave up a guard of some sort, so he may well just try and half the stone off and just ask the question of the Cruz to keep throwing that guard.
Lots of weight in this one. Drives it back, catches him on the bun. Yeah, what a shot.
Yeah, and the important thing there, Kenny, was that he managed to remove it from the centre of the play as well. So he's taken the one off the button and double enforced that corner guard. So
Luis, il est là, il est shot.
just a change of opinion here. I tend to go with Benoit here. I think I'd be going around the other, split the house and just try and force the one. Cruz is wondering, do we just go around the corner guard? But it's just creating a chance for Schwaller if he does that.
Absolutely. Edge of 8 foot on the open side is absolutely perfect. Right, exactly where they're tapping.
Non, on veut pas être dans le 4 pieds, je crois, Peter. Juste là.
Full 8.
Ouais, exact.
Full 8 foot, j'ai dit.
Exact.
They were just saying it needs to be fully 8 foot.
Même 8.
Yeah, your French must be better than mine.
Well, they speak French, they speak German, they speak English. It's quite confusing at times, this team. But they're so fluent in every language.
He also indicated that he's going to be at least T-line. He's not going to be high the house. He certainly doesn't want to give an option for Yannick Schwaller to play a hit off the top and across. So
Exactement là. Ouais, c'est bien. Et large tout seul.
we've seen Benoit Shorts struggling with his weights early on in this game, and he's come deep again. Safe enough though. Still only half in the 8 foot there, so there is a chance that Yannick Schwaller can get his first stone behind the cover. In for second shot behind the cover. That'll certainly ask the question. Sure, the cards are still with Peter Cruz at this end, but outside chance of a 2 still.
Die macht schon noch etwas dahinter, gell? Ja. Schenkst gut sein. Ich finde es gut, ja.
So this is the Swiss team that will be going to the World University Games later on this season, and actually they'll also be going to the final leg of the World Cup Series in Sweden in the end of January. So they've got some big games ahead of them, as well as their own national finals.
Okay. Knop plaats. Vooracht.
Okay, so they like it for line, but sweepers are wanting to get it a little bit deeper. Got to make sure they're in the white. Yeah, they just lost it. The sweepers knew it was needing it, but just couldn't get it across. So that one at the back with it line. If Schwartz has got the opportunity to come around that one this time, doesn't have to fully hide. As long as he's lined second shot, he's going to create the force.
If you're shorter, it's okay too, or not?
He's saying if he's short, it's okay too. I'm not so sure. I think he wants to be fully into the 8 foot here. Force Yannick Schwaller to pick up a 1, and he'll have the hammer at the next end, only 1 down.
Même hauteur.
8, 9.
Même hauteur.
7, 8. 7, 8.
Ici derrière.
8 seul.
Il faut 9 seul. 9.
Yeah, calling just back of T they're calling, so the double won't be on. So
Fini.
8 seul. Ouais,
they'll definitely be in for second shot. It looks like it's going to be buried too.
Encore. Go.
Okay. Yeah, pretty good attempt.
Je pense que c'est parfait. Excuse, bien validé.
Ja, wer gaat da?
Yeah, I think he's just having a
4. Dat is een goed score.
a glance to see if there is a skinny double there, but I don't think he's playing that.
Ik kan samen niet nog bespreken en nog staan.
You will see a piece.
Zie waar up dat.
See almost a quarter.
Nee, dritto. Ja. Dritto. Goed. En voor Trouwwijs, joh.
Ja, joh. Ja, sicher dritt, alleen niet dikker.
Stuur het in.
Yeah, very risky shot with this one.
Okay, einfach wenn vorne hängt, hast du -4 oder so, gell?
Oh, ja.
Was sagt dir das Gefühl?
Ja, Drama noch.
Yeah, I'm amazed he's playing this actually, because if he gets this wrong, flicks the red at the top, he could lose a multiple end. The reward is a 2, of course, but
Very good.
Yeah, I think he was maybe just having a bit of a joke with
Is goed, hoor.
Peter de Cruz there, because we can see he's illustrating just to draw the house now.
playing the dead draw.
Yeah, there's a little bit of needle between these two sides. They're jousting for who is the best team in Switzerland. I think it certainly is Peter de Cruz at this moment in time. But Team Schwaller are certainly chasing at the tails of Peter de Cruz.
14-7.
Whoa!
I mean, this should be a regulation draw. Schwartz is interested, but I think it's a 1 red, so despite the theatricals of tempting us into a skinny double where it would have been an outrageous call, I think common sense prevailed. Nice shot, restoring the lead.
Yeah, so the score after 4 rounds, it's Schwaller 4, de Cruz 3, and the Cruz will have last stone in the 5th end. Very entertaining matchup, Rob.
Yeah, it's been great. That big shot that Benoit Schwartz played, the run back at the 3rd end, has created a classy game for us here. Nice shot there as well, just seen the draw for 1 coming in. I mean, although Yannick Schwaller's 4-3 up, I think the Cruz will be more the comfortable of the two teams. He's going to have the hammer in the 6th and potentially the 8th, so 2 hammers and 3 ends, only been 1 down. He'll be happy with the way it is. He'll be trying to score a 2 here, and then play a 4th and 7. That's the classic 8-end strategy.
Okay,
Aber schau, ich kann ihn daten, Michi.
But Schwaller's the one in the lead. He's going to be throwing first.
Bis zurück,
Going centre guard. He's not going in the house, so he's going to attack. Try and create an opening here where he can steal. Yeah, although it's long, he was making sure it's not going to be overswept. He's making sure it's on the centre there.
With this 5 rock free guard zone, it's critical about your guard placement. Valentin Tanner. He's been a long-standing member of Peter de Cruz's team.
4, 5. C'est 5. Juste 4.
Yeah, so we saw de Cruz earlier on in the game ignoring the centre guard and throwing up a corner guard, but a little more defensive this time. He's come round first, tried to get on that 4-foot line first, and I think that's more about the placement of the centre. It's a long way out there. Throwing a corner guard actually makes it quite difficult getting round the corner with the way that one's positioned. I think Schwaller's going to come right in. He's not going to go guard. He's going to come in. So still just jousting for position.
Freeze, Michi.
Yeah, lovely shot.
Yeah, really nice freeze by Tanner for Schwaller being called this time. So it's de Cruz playing the yellow stones, Schwaller the red. We're into the 5th end of coverage from this.
Whoa.
2019 Mercure City of
No.
coming to you live from the Dure Centre here in Perth, Scotland. I'm Ken Edwards. I'm joined by Rob Diven. It's been a very entertaining matchup, Rob.
Well, it's been a cracking game. There's been lots of stones in play. Both teams really going for it. And actually, we've seen a few half stones, a few errors. which has meant that we've been a lot more stones in play. It's been an up and down game. Seen one team take the lead, momentum swinging back, and yeah, we're probably easy-peasy at the moment. It's difficult to say who's in control of the game at the moment.
I think the swing has possibly swung towards the Cruz. He was trailing by 3. He's managed to score a 3 back, force the 1, and it's now him with the last on advantage. Romano Meyer.
Back line.
Back.
Yeah, the setup's not bad for
Back line.
Schwaller. He's got the centre guard on. That looks a bit hot though. Yeah, he's gone deep.
Romano has thrown this one a little bit on the hot side, let's say.
Yeah, that's a slack stone at this stage of the game. It's really not what he wanted. I wonder whether he knew he only had one sweeper and maybe he just overthrew it because of that. It just shows the importance of the full team being focused all the time.
Yeah, for sure, Rob. From time to time, players just a little lapse in concentration, let's say, and that really is the difference between these top teams in these events.
Well, what's happened there is it's given Peter de Cruz a free removal of the guard. That centre guard they worked so hard to keep up there. The one slack stone's given them a chance to take it off. Schwaller will have to try and replace that again, and they'll not have the opportunity to defend it for too long. But they've still got a good setup. There's still 2 reds in play. Yellow's on the button, but he's looking for the long guard again, just over. Giving himself the opportunity to come round that at a sort of hack weight later on in the game and try and finesse something with the red in the house. Is that enough of a threat to the Cruz? Yeah, no hesitation.
Yeah, the guard's pretty long, so let's just peel this one off. That's what they are thinking. Peter de Cruz, the skip and second player. Calmly pulls the guard off. Both teams okay on the clock at the moment.
So a dilemma for Yannick Schwaller. He's wondering whether to take the game into the house and actually try and play the force the 1. If you can remove the one nearest the button, he'll lie second and third. If he keeps throwing the centre guard, at some point the Cruz will call his bluff and come round it and potentially lie 2. He's got to stay on the high side here or he'll spring the back red too far. I think he's pretty good there.
Yeah, possibly let it run a little too hard, but
yeah, I think Peter de Cruz just indicating to his other team that the yellow in the back is beating the red at the front, so he's got a sort of nose hit to lie 2 or potentially try and play a hack weight and come on the inside this. Mikel in turn. Barrier weight. Try and catch about 3/4 of the inside of the stone and just roll into the centre. They're sweeping it hard though, it must be curling. They managed to control the weight.
well, I don't really like the roll underneath there, Rob. The nose hit would have been in call.
There's no doubt that's what they were going for. They called early on to go for it. Caught in between 2. I think as if he'd come right back, they would have probably run the red straight back and potentially lifted the double. The nose hit, as you say, probably would have left no double. Yeah, this might just take them both. Lovely shot again. Yeah, so the Cruz will run the stones here. Exchange a couple of nose hits probably.
9,5. C'est bien.
Difficult to see how he can finesse a 2, so he'll be trying to make sure he can blank and keep the hammer and create another option for 2 at the 6th.
Extra verspritzen.
Yeah, so a fairly clear end in this 5th. Brunner just holding the broom for Yannick Schwaller. And skipping 4th player.
Hij is kwijt.
Team Schwaller. A little narrow with this one though.
Yeah, that's going to end up on the other side of the house. Still in play, moving it around. Just exchange a couple of hits here and then we'll see if Benoit Schwartz will be certainly trying to get a blank end with his last stone. So
17,5. Ouais. Oui.
calling the sweep early.
Fort, Sven.
Just a little bit of a down weight.
Oui.
That's curling big.
Well, this one's beginning to move, Rob. Has he caught anything?
Okay,
Caught it, called it out of his hand. It's actually missed it by an inch on the wrong side.
Explain me.
So, where we thought a blank was going to be favourite, he's going to have to draw against the 2.
Yeah, Benoit's just had a real struggle in this game, hasn't he? His draw weight hasn't just been there. They've switched stones.
Yeah, even a relatively comfortable hit there that actually wouldn't have been the end of the world if he'd hit and spun, but to fresh them all was a long way from being ideal.
1-4.
Nee, niet aanhangen. Nee, nee,
4 biesen. Linie again, good.
nee.
So try and split the house, maybe bite the edge of the 4 foot on the tee line.
Yeah, just trying to be in that grey circle area. Slips a little deep though, Rob, doesn't he?
Yeah, it kind of makes the draw a little bit easier for the Cruz. He's just going to ignore it. He's just going to draw to the 4 foot. He's got probably nearer 6 feet to draw to. I think probably in Yannick Schwaller's mind there is if he leaves it a little bit close to the centre line, a little bit top of the 4, he's potentially leaving a double that might have brought in the blank, but it's a big call to go for a double at this end. So I think he's just going to have to take his medicine, pick up his 1 after that mistake with his first.
Yeah, it's a final stone of the 5th end, and I think if Peter de Cruz and his team of Benoit Schwartz can find themselves level, they will find themselves very lucky to be level at this stage in the game.
Yeah, there's not been many great stones thrown by Benoit. He's had a hard time out there. But he's played that one when it really mattered. It would have been curtains if he hadn't played that. So you can see the frustration with him, but they're all square. But like you say, Kenny, lucky to be in the game at the moment. Bit of frustration with the body language. You can see the difference. There's a few hands on hips with Team de Cruz, but smiles and high fives for Team Schwaller.
Länger im letzten Spiel, oder?
Nur eine fokussierte Schlusshälfte, ist gut, Boys.
Ja, schon so fast eine Backline, oder? Was? Schon gegen Backline, oder?
Yeah, just having a bit of a conversation there. Where do we want to put this first one? They'll know the Cruz is probably just going to go centre guard, so just having that discussion. Do we come in or do we throw corner guard? Hammer and 6. They really want to try and score a 2.
I think they will try and force the issue here, Rob.
Yeah, 4-all. They don't want to slip up and give away an easy blank.
Il veut 3, il veut 3. Il veut juste 3, Sven.
Tanner didn't like that too much. I don't know if that picked out his hand the way he indicated, but
C'est très proche.
looks fine to me. But it's going to swing on the centre line.
Really close, huh? As tight as possible. Yep. Keep going.
Peter calling it as tight as possible, but sweeping it much more would have taken off the centre line. It's pretty tidy there.
Yeah, tight centre guard just makes things a little bit awkward for
Vorher recht veel gemacht.
Team Schwaller.
Goed, dit.
Yeah, calling this corner guard on the. Oh no, they're coming right around. Sorry. Looks heavy.
Bring it!
Yeah, this one's way heavy, Rob.
Call it tick, maybe. Yeah, I thought it was tight ice for the come around. I think they actually called the tick to try and develop 2 corner guards. 4 all at 6th end. It's a big call to go tick shot.
Yeah, sure is. So just a reminder, you're watching live coverage from the 2019 Mercure City of Perth Masters, coming to you live from the Geo Centre here in Perth, Scotland. I'm Kenny Edwards, and I'm joined by Rob Niven for this matchup between Cruz and Schwaller of Switzerland. And the coverage is being brought to you by plenty sponsors, Rob. We want to give them a little bit of a mention.
Yes, certainly the Mercure City Mills Hotel. It couldn't go ahead without them, and in conjunction with Perth and Canoss Council, Perth Honda and Ironside Coaches, as well as Live Active Leisure, provide the facilities here for us in Perth. We're very blessed. I was speaking to Peter de Cruz before the game here, and he was asking me, is the ice as good as this on a Wednesday night when we play our local leagues? And I said, well, we can play on ice like this any day of the week throughout the winter. We've got great ice makers making us a tremendous facility here.
Yeah, Paul Martin and his team of ice staff here do provide a great facility for the players year in, year out.
Cracking shot there again from Team Schwaller. Just as soon as de Cruz goes button, they followed him in, so it's made him play the other hand. So Cruz been forced onto the outturn here. The angles are set up better that way. Don't think he'll mind exchanging it like this at the moment. He's got one on the button with a pretty powerful centre guard, so doesn't want this bounce too far. It's not going to bounce. Yeah, we're seeing some good curling at this end.
So if you're Schwaller, what are you thinking right now, Rob? Are you trying to go for the blank, or are you trying to take 2 here in this 6th end?
Well, either or. He certainly doesn't want to be forced into 1. So to get the 2 looks difficult at the moment. So I think he's going to just rip the cards up and try and get a blank out of this somehow. The way they're all sitting on the centre line, if you can get this guard off, the ones in the house will all spring quite quickly. So I think this is the right call. Just playing a controlled strike though. Not playing that peel weight and try and drive it into the pack, so just happy to have the one off. De Cruz will need to replace it. He likes the setup. He's going to try and defend the situations, the stones the way they are. But he has to make sure he gets this right on the centre line. If he leaves this slightly offset, it will give Yannick Schwaller a chance to drive it back into the pack and maybe create that blank that you were talking about.
C'est 3 seuls. 2,5. 3 seuls. C'est proche. C'est que aval. C'est proche, Benoît. Très large. C'est très proche. Fini.
Too close to the house makes that drive back even easier.
Ouais. Encore, go, c'est bien. Très bien, Pete.
Perfect for line though.
Okay, stay. Good, now.
I think he can catch it just on the high side this time.
Yeah.
Run it into the pack. There's a slight angle there.
Okay. Melle turn. Ik wil eerst zo. Dat is de hand op derde. Yep. Also nee.
So he's calling the out turn. I thought he might have been playing the in turn. Bigger weight this time though.
Oh.
Yeah, he's just going to half it off. Yannick obviously didn't fancy my call.
Yes, I think we're in the 6th end, so we're getting pretty close to the business end of the game. So both teams playing a little cagey, a little bit of cat and mouse here. Who wants to go into the last end with the last stone? Who wants to be ahead? Who wants to be trailing?
Yeah, 4-all, it's all about the last stone here. So
Ici, 3 seuls.
Sven Mikkel playing
4.
third stones for Peter de Cruz.
4 seuls.
Trying to throw the centre guard, replace it almost exactly where they were. It wants to be half and half on that centre tape. That looks a little bit close at the house again. Just going to drift a bit too far.
Yeah, now you've got a chance to maybe spray a couple of them.
So is aus in der Row, ist super.
It's okay.
Still going to be very difficult to create a blank with only 4 reds to come. He's going to remove 4 stones effectively from play, so the nose hit still leaves 2 yellows, so just going to try and catch this one just inside and maybe roll another red into play. Alternative shots to hit it on the high side, drive it in the pack and try and lift maybe a double in the pack and create the chance of a blank. It's on the high side at the moment.
Good.
Oh, great result.
Great result. Exactly the shot they were after.
A little bit of luck involved in that, Kenny. I think the risk was they were going to move the red as well, but they've actually just flicked it on the way past and actually strengthened its position and left the corner guard up. So the 2's back on now. The Cruz is going to have to try and watch not be too clever here. He's almost going to change his tactic here. He was looking for the force one or the steal. Now he's going to watch he doesn't lose a 2 because that red's pretty powerful where it is.
Presque la même avec balayage.
C'est bien la glace, tu veux pas un peu moins de glace?
Vas-y, je vais là. C'est beaucoup, hein?
Moi je trouve que c'était plus vite, c'est trop de glace.
Ça c'est trop.
Yeah, just asking about what weight am I playing. If I'm playing weight to tap this out, I need less ice. Good team communication there. Not scared to ask to skip for a little bit less. If you do that, you've got to make the shot though.
Absolutely, Rob. If you're asking your skip for less ice and dictating the play, you've got to make that shot. Rather embarrassing coming down.
It's a good line though. I think he's played a good shot here. I think they've lost that a wee bit.
Oh, this is good.
No, he's good. Yeah, good position there.
Can they see off the inside of that yellow to make the double though, Rob?
I think they can, but at the moment they're actually calling just the hit and flop off the centre one and roll behind that corner guard they finessed. So I think it'll be a similar kind of weight, maybe a hack to barrier weight and just try and get a roll across into the open.
Yeah, control take out weight. Nothing too crazy with this one. But this one looks...
Doesn't come a lot from the hog line in. It's coming now. They're sweeping for the swing.
You're certainly right, Rob. This one is moving really aggressively after the hog line. But,
They needed more.
yeah, certainly needed more weight. Didn't move the 2 yellows out in the 4-foot.
I think so.
Does leave 2 reds in play, but also leaves 2 yellows.
Rouler exactement devant ça.
The Cruz can just play the bump on that red stone top of the 8-foot.
C'est OK.
And hold the shooting stone in the 8-foot to sit.
On fait ça d'abord.
3.
10,5, 11.
Yeah, as long as he keeps the played stone, the shooter, keep that in play. It'll always lie third shot, so shouldn't be a triple on. If he leaves a triple, it would be unlikely. So just Benoit Schwartz here playing last stones for Team de Cruz, looking just to get a controlled hit. And catch it just off centre and roll to the left-hand side of the screen. Doesn't want to roll out here. Yeah, they like it. Pretty perfect. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, they certainly will be happy with that, sitting 3, but
Is he just a triple?
Just a hair high of nose, might be able to move all 3 yellows.
If he can catch that just on the high side of nose, should jam a yellow, but you never know. These stones are quite springy. The houses are fast. Just off centre, runs that straight back. Might just feather the yellow on the way back. Suddenly, from line 3 against, it could be line 2. This might be travelling. All very quiet at the moment, must be close.
Just make sure of the double, that'd be the call. And that's exactly what he's done. Held the shooter.
Yeah, that's a good stone. Keeping the shooter in play was important there, it was almost vital. He could still be line 2 against when he comes to play his last stone, but there's still an outside chance that he might have a potential double for 2. When actually he's played most of the game chasing it. Yes, there's 2 options here for the Cruz. He could obviously play the hit on the second shot, but more chance of leaving a double that way, where if he comes round this corner guard to lie second shot, shouldn't really be a chance for double. The risk, of course, is that if he leaves it on the centre line, there's a chance of losing the 3. He'll be happy to lose a force.
Yeah, I think that's why I like the nose hit on the one on the left, Rob. Just play a nose hit, force the 1.
That's the best, but it's...
You're in the 6th end.
If you give it, si on lui donne 3, c'est la merde.
Ah, c'est sûr. Bon, il y aura probablement pas 3, il y aura probablement un jam.
Ouais, mais bon.
They're thinking about it.
C'est quand même intéressant, ça, je trouve.
They know it's right, but they just can't get there.
Lui, il fait ça, mais... I'm not sure.
He does 52.
Should we let him try this?
Non, mais il va jamais faire 52.
Yeah, well, the problem is you don't want to call a shot to not play it. So they're saying, well, if we come here, it's perfect, but if we don't make the shot, potentially leave it flat, leave a chance of a 3, the game's almost over.
Yeah. But what we need to remember is these 2 teams know each other. They play each other week in, week out. They have played each other over the years. They know each other's game. So they're probably... This is probably what's influencing this decision, Rob.
Yeah, you say they know each other. It's quite interesting. Just off camera there, the 2 front end players were having a smile and a joke with the opposition, so there was a bit of a conversation about where they'd most like it.
Probably crazy.
Yeah. Peter de Cruz just asking Yannick where he'd like it most. This is probably crazy, he said. Well, they've gone for the draw to line 2. Potentially even an outside chance. They certainly don't want to leave a double here.
5-6. Ligne parfaite. Exactement là. Seul. Vers la part. Ça colle beaucoup maintenant.
Seul. Very important.
C'est large.
Non, c'est parfait, Ligne.
Position is absolutely critical here, Rob.
Oui. Yep.
Tuck the inside in. No double.
Ok. C'est bien.
I think he's done enough, Rob.
Très bien.
Yeah. Certainly it's too big a risk for him to go skinny double. He goes skinny double, potentially loses 1, but...
Neem er één op, hij is niet te fout omgegaan.
Oké.
Dus goed die chance voor 2.
Oké.
If he goes for the skinny, that is very skinny. You're looking to catch around half an inch of the top one.
Okay. Mijn restje dan gesteekt, aber ik vind...
The upside's a 3, probably maybe even lose the shooter. Get the 2, they're just having another look to see how much do I need to hit it. He almost needs to miss it to get the double. And even then he might just jam it on the back one anyway. I guess the risk is getting a 1 or losing a 1 here. It's not a huge game turner.
But what it is, it's a huge change of momentum. They were 3 up, they lost a 3, they were forced to the 1 and then they gave up 1. The game's tied and they've been all over Peter de Cruz in this game, but yet they can't seem to shake him off.
The one thing is, if it over curls here and he gets a nose, it's not going to be good enough. Must be very close. They certainly like it.
This is close, Rob. Very close, but it's drifted back.
Yeah. He was lucky he didn't find the port there and go through the middle of them both, so maybe that wasn't possible, which is probably why they played that call. So they've lost the 1. They weren't too worried to lose the 1. They went for the gamble of the 3 for the upside. So what a turnaround, like you say. After 6 ends, Team de Cruz 5-4 up. Potentially after 3 they could have been 5-0 down, so big turnaround. Team Schwaller happy to have the hammer in 7. They're going to have to make sure they score this time though.
Yeah, big change in momentum in this game. It is the Cruz who, with their tails up, who are rather jovial, let's say, out in the ice there. They're fairly relaxed. They know that they're in with a chance of winning this game after being 3 down and not really in it.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it, Kenny? This change in the body language from 2 ends ago. There was hands on hips and a little bit of questioning of some of the stones, and the whole game's turned around now. Yeah, like Schwaller's team still look very relaxed. They're smiling and chatting amongst themselves, but they're maybe thinking, well, we've played well enough. The good results will come. So 1 up without the hammer, playing 7. They're calling centre guard. I think Valentin was saying, do you want it top 4? Which wouldn't have been wrong either. I think if you go top 4, they certainly go corner guard. If you can put a good centre guard up, it's going to make the positioning of the corner guard more difficult for Team Schwaller. I think they want it quite close. Needs the curl.
Allez, continue. Yep. Encore. C'est ok là. Vous disiez quoi?
It's a little bit longer than they wanted, I think.
On disait 2,5, non?
Yeah, I would expect them to have seen that one a little tight, because
well, we always put up a guard, tight guard.
Schwaller won't mind this end being blanked.
Linie is nu.
Yeah, well, they played the tick shot at the last end, try and keep the option of the blank open. This time they've decided to come round. He's overthrown it on the in-turn, which has kept it higher of the guard, probably not behind the guard this time. No hesitation from Peter de Cruz. He'll be playing a hack weight coming down. You can see probably half the stone. It will curl enough.
Yeah, this tells me that the team Peter de Cruz are going for the blank in this end.
It's going to have to sweep that. That's close to the guard.
It's
Benoit's done well there. He's held that well.
It's never close, Rob. It's cruising past it by a good inch or so. These guys play precision curling.
I wouldn't have put my finger between that.
Yeah, it's a good inch or so between that, Rob. And these players are they judge everything to the inch. It's fantastic to watch some of these brave skips and third players calling these stones coming down the ice.
Certainly set the end up well for de Cruz, there's no doubt about that. Asking all the shots of Schwaller at the moment.
On peut. Watch freeze.
Tu veux venir dessus?
Il y a une poche?
Yeah, just going through the options here. Benoit just asking Peter de Cruz, do you want to just come down and tap that back and lie two?
Ok.
Ça, faut la sortir.
Comme moi.
Ok.
Juste traverser.
Ouais, exact.
C'est pas mal, je pense.
Ouais, c'est ça. Mais la glace, c'est un tout petit peu plus long, donc il faut un...
Indicate hack weight there again. Certainly doesn't want to try and be too cute here and just pop it back and potentially leave a double on the yellows on the out turn.
C'est hack!
I think he'll be wanting to remove it from play.
Yeah, for sure, Rob. I think they'll try and push this red through and hold the shooting stone top of the forefoot.
I think he's pretty good, isn't he? He's got a slight inside roll.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, Yannick Schwaller's going to have to move these at some point. He may well just play a bump and try and move them into the back of the house, but clearly if he does that, it's a good chance of a 2, but it's certainly taking the blank out of play. Just asking whether we run the guard, maybe try and flick one of them on the way past. Yeah, that's the call, I think.
Yeah, they're going to take the centre guard off and open things up and try and get out this end with a blank. What Team Schwaller have got to remember is that they have lost that last stone advantage.
It's close here. He's getting something.
Was that the call, Rob?
Well, he was trying to flick one in the house. It wasn't. I think he was kind of trying to catch it higher so that he rolled the red more off the centre line.
But we have to be at least.
At least it's the right colour up there for the next one running back. But I don't think Team de Cruz will be too disappointed. Maybe if you can get right on top, there won't be a stagger on the double. So we're trying to weld it right on top of it this time.
Yeah, this is where Team Peter de Cruz are so good in the last 2 or 3 ends. They know exactly how they need to place the stones to make it difficult for opposition. And maybe this is where the difference between Schwaller and de Cruz will come on show.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit short of weight there. It's allowed Schwaller to potentially come into play. He could see a little bit of it, so maybe be able to play just a back line, back 8-foot weight, come in, tap it back, and he's got a bit of cover. Just the way that centre guard, with it being so long, and the curl coming off that out-turn hand, we saw that earlier on in the game. It's almost a corner guard.
Yeah, certainly jumped in this one very quick. Trying to hold this one straight. Have they got it past the top guard? I think they have.
Oof. He's even got to inside of nose. Unbelievable. Great shot.
Yep.
Okay.
Cinq, c'est bien.
Yeah, we talked about the big swing on that hand, and it swung a lot from the guard in. You can see there from the picture, he's absolutely behind the guard. No panic from Sven Mikkel, he can follow that down, sit on top of it or bump it a foot.
Oui, 6-7. Oui, allez Ben.
Line looks good, just needs to make sure he's got the weight. Just a little bit light.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, it was a similar track to Team Schwaller, but just over curled because the weight wasn't quite there. Schwaller well set up for the 2 now.
Good. That's okay. Think so much better there. Okay.
Indicating which way do you want to come round that guard. It's not easy coming round between the 2 now. I think that's ice for coming through the port. The way it swings at the end, it's very narrow port that. At least coming this way, Michael Brunner should be setting up a double. It's on the guard at the moment, but they're sweeping it anyway because they know how much it's going to curl at the end. They're just trying to hold it up. Not for line, he's saying, not for line. That's a lovely shot. Even to get to the inside of it.
That's good. Sorry, who shot? Oh, sorry, Annie.
De Cruz just putting his brush down there, trying to get an indication of how much you can physically see. So kind of come down and just half that top one off and roll behind the other yellow corner guard. Just to there. Looking for about a hack weight. Just want to leave the red line around. Calling him on quite early, which is never a good sign. He's certainly got a piece of it.
Is it going to curl enough, Rob, though?
Well, he's moved it from play. It's just he doesn't want to roll right into the open, which is just what he's done. So just slightly overswept. Great effort.
Yeah.
Just come down and corner freeze the yellow edge of forfeit. Would that be the call?
Hopen 4. Also, Piste Dolly,
Yeah, it's a great position to lie because you're going to be line 2 with no doubles. There's always a risk that coming through that centre port there, you're going to set up a double. He's just going to try and leave them apart so he can get a 2. He's not going to be too greedy here, too impatient.
Final club stones. Seventh end. Well, they jumped this one earlier, Rob.
Certainly high of the guard at the moment, but they don't want to over curling at the end. And I think they're pretty good there.
Would have liked them to keep on that one, Rob. Just to hold it a little bit straighter.
Je pense que je peux trop prendre. Non. Non, je crois pas.
Yeah, they were caught in between shots. If they'd held on it and it drifted a little bit more at the end, it might potentially have gone slightly back of tee and left a flat double. Even at this shot, I wonder whether he can catch the back of the red and push it over the top of that yellow. So catch it, hitting the one on the cross first, and just catching the back of the red.
Well, looking at the overhead, exactly what you described, Rob, as you come down, catch around half stone, hit the red on the right, drive onto the yellow, the red on the left, and miss the yellow on the bottom right. So Benoit Schwartz, half stone double. But he is very tight with this one, but just does enough to sit 3 shots. Would have loved to have sit 4.
Yeah, he hasn't quite forced it out, but it may be academic. The good thing about him catching it a little bit fatter than he'd intended is that it's kept the yellow top of the tee line. I think if he'd caught it thin, he would certainly have lifted the double, but the yellow would have run through to the back of the 4 foot and potentially left Schwaller something to sit on. So just going to try and play an in-turn. Probably be a control weight and just try and hit and flop behind the cover on the left. Still got a chance of the 2. Yeah, just that controlled weight. Try and get enough action off the stone to remove the yellow, but still stay in play.
Overswept this one, Rob, though. This one might bounce out into the open, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
That's a big sweeping error. They were calling him no, and he still kept sweeping.
It ends the roll. Si on peut rouler une
Can't
demi-pierre.
tell if the red is shot or not, but actually it's going to be going soon anyway.
Ouais. C'est bien ça. Très bien.
Yeah, you can see it all. Just leaving that stone alone, not over sweeping it. Would have definitely lain shot, and also it would have been right behind the cover. Now he's going to be facing 3. Of course, Benoit's still going to play the shot.
Yeah, just looking for a little tuck inside in behind the guard.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
So final 2 stones of this 7th end. We're at a critical part of the game, Rob, and you've got to say Team Perth de Cruz have just upped their game in this last 2 or 3 ends, haven't they?
Yeah, just when it really matters, experience coming through. A real head-to-head for the best 2 teams in Switzerland. They've played each other 10 times in their career record, and De Cruz has got the 8-2 steal on them at the moment, so experience is coming out.
Yeah, that just shows how calm they were. When they were 3 down, they just stayed cool, just were very patient in the way they played the game and just waited for their opportunity.
Not done yet. Yannick Schwaller got a chance to draw the 4-foot here, tie the game up, put pressure on in the 8th. Seen plenty of games lost from here before. He's got to make this though, or it really is game over. Sweeper's calling T-weight early. It's got a bit of curling to do, but it will come from there. Just got to make sure they bite the T-line.
This one's good, Rob.
Yeah, I love the shot. Good weight, control. Well managed. The sweepers were on it all the way down. They were calling the T-weight. They knew they could afford. There was a stone of backing to come. So after 7 ends, it's been a terrific match. 2 teams very closely matched, and we're 5-all playing last. It's gone one way to the other, but the Cruz will certainly be the favourite from this position.
So let's take a look at that last shot from Schwaller, the skip of this young Swiss team, just drifting down to this back yellow. Always had the line, just enough weight to score the single point. So we're heading into the 8th end, Rob, and we've had a good look at both these sides. Who do you think will prevail in this game?
Well, you've got to suggest the advantages with Peter de Cruz at the moment, not only because he's hanging on to the last stone, but we've seen them come back from a 3-shot deficit, and momentum's definitely with them. They've created an end where they've scored a big 3. They've actually stolen in the 6th, so they'll be fairly confident with a hammer that they can win the end from here. The setup at the lead stones is going to be crucial here. This is where the game's won and lost. For Schwaller to have any chance, he's got to get these first 2 guards in play. The 5-out rule gives you a real good chance to play catch-up, and yeah, they've put that one right on the centre line. They'll be happy with that. So this can't be removed from play, but they're going to try and move it around. Valentin Tanner's in turn. He'll try and bump this and spread it to the side. Open up the 4-foot. Looks like a nice and nice weight to me. Just going to watch they don't hit it too hard. I think that's pretty perfect.
What a shot from Valentin Tanner, just pushing that red off the centre line and opening that 4-foot area up. What a great shot.
Yeah, accepting the congratulations from the opposition, but they swept it well, they managed, it was a team effort. Experience coming through, he's played those shots a few times.
Yeah, resembles yourself, Rob.
Eins bis 2. Nein, 2. 2. Müssen nicht mehr gehen.
Temptation to avoid the tick is often to come a little bit closer to the house, and actually he's done that this time. Valentin Tanner do it twice.
Well, the problem they do have this time, Rob, is if they play the same tick shot again, they could crash into the red out wide and leave a couple of corner guards, and there is a way of developing a 1 or a 2 out of having 2 or 3 corner guards in play, forcing the opposing skip to draw the 4-foot. If they miss it, you might get something around behind a corner guard to make two, but chipped that one off the centre. That's a really good shot from Valentin Tanner again.
I think Peter de Cruz will be absolutely delighted with that start. Not only has he removed them from play, but if he gets the chance, the two reds are sitting nice to double them both off with the same shot. They'll be still playing clearing shots. Team Schwaller just have to persist with the strategy of throwing centre guards. Going long this time, making it harder to remove with the two sets of corner guards in play already.
That's a very long centre guard. Will he take the risk of trying to drive it into the reds?
There's no harm really. I mean, the risk is that you could spin one across and it will sit just high the house in the centre line, but I think he's just trying to half this off. He'll not be considering it.
Easy. Good. Yeah, Pete.
Yeah, they never considered it because they could have tried to drive something in, but there's no need at this stage of the game. They've got the hammer. If they can keep removing the centre one, they're going to give themselves at least the 8 foot to draw to win the game with the last.
Yeah, and as a skip, that's really all you're after. If you show me half the 4 foot, that's all you need to win a game.
Yeah, certainly at this level with the fact that the ice is pretty consistent both hands. The swing has never really changed, the speed has never really changed, so Benoit Schwartz throwing last stones for the Cruz will be readying himself already for the his last stone draw. Just getting his skip to remove this from play. Schwaller's doing the right thing. He's mixing it up. He's putting the centre guards at different positions each time, so making it harder just for the Cruz just to simply peel every time. They've got to watch themselves. Yeah, safe enough.
Yeah, peeled that one off, no problem at all through the gap. Schwaller maybe trying to play some mind games by playing a chip on the corner guards, maybe trying to pop one back into the house and hold one on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing is he could finesse a centre guard and at the same time just have another shooter in the house. Nah, he's just playing the guard. Like you say, teams know each other well. I think just a bit of chat between them saying, I'll maybe try this impossible shot. You never know. He might have to come around them at some point though.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to have to do, Rob, to try and create something here in this 8th end.
Whoa, no.
Yeah, this is all just a little bit too easy for an experienced team like Peter de Cruz, and as you called earlier, at some point they're going to try and run it into those reds and just remove the extra stone. And that's just what he's done.
Yeah, so Schwaller really left with nothing to hide behind. Everything's out wide and they're no real danger for Peter de Cruz.
Yeah, the value of the two lead stones, the two perfect ticks by Valentin Tanner is coming to fruition now with 3 stones left each. Schwaller's decided to change the strategy and come into the house, try and get around this short corner guard and just try and change the strategy. Make the Cruz do something different. You'll see half of that.
Gut, so, Miguel. Gut.
Just play the pick. If he catches the top one, it's not a disaster. One of those either-or shots.
Yeah, but what he can't afford to do is hit this one and roll to the back of the forefoot. So look to hit and run on Sven Mikkel.
Certainly strike weight anyway. There was no way he was sitting around in the back of the forefoot at that weight.
Well, that is as thin as I would like to call it. And that was very thin, wasn't it, Rob?
Yeah, the outrageousness was they actually called the sweepers on to make it that thin, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually the worst sort they could have done was fresh air that completely, and it would have allowed Yannick Schwaller to put another one on top and double up the pressure. So they'll be trying to do this again. Having seen that throw, to be honest, Sven Mikkel probably overthrew it.
Yeah, I think you just throw the centre guard with this one, though.
Warte noch. Wow.
T.
Nur Linie. No Platz. Gut. 4. Achtung. Nein. Wenden, Cello. Cello, wenden.
That looks a little bit heavy. It's going to be back the tee anyway, which again would make it easier for Benoit Schwartz. He's going to be further round the cover this time though, so. Same shot again for you, Kenny.
Yeah, just rip that one right out there. You're going to have a 12-foot draw to win the game.
The other option, of course, is he just throws a draw down. He's got 2 stones to come. He can get a guide in his draw weight with the first. He knows he's got the whole 8 foot to draw with the second.
Well, I can't believe they're actually calling this. Just peel that one out of there, Rob. There's no danger of you giving up the steal. Just knock it out of there. There's no danger. Benoit Schwartz is missing an 8-foot draw for the game.
6. In la place. In parfait.
Are you surprised at this call?
Oh, for sure. I think the traditional strategy would be to play the peel the red out. But we've seen the confidence of Benoit Schwartz been up and down in this game so far. So he's had a few draws that haven't come up short. They've come up long. Maybe just trying to settle the nerves. He knows he's got the 8 foot to draw. He's just played it now. So Schwaller still has to remove this from play and lie shot.
The thing is, he doesn't actually have to remove it from play. Just like you said,
put it there.
he's talking corner freeze.
Wir müssen hier auch einfach ein Ross gerade aufladen.
Ja, aber er spielt doch den Draw nachher.
Wir können hier abpeilen.
Run auf die Nase.
Team the Cruz still have the 8-foot draw. He's just made it, so
Also der Tap geht
the
nicht.
cards are still with
Oh, schwierig.
the more experienced Peter de Cruz at the moment. Yannick Schwaller calling down the rest of the team just to say, well, where do you want to go here, guys? There's only one place they can put it. They've got to put it right in front of that red. Coming right round the back. It's hugely ambitious.
Yeah, you might do that if you're got a couple ends to go, but yeah, you just sit something right on top.
He's got it like shot, or the gloves are coming off. So.
Yep. I don't give a fuck. Right? Okay.
Oh, like I said, only one shot, and they found another one. They're going to try some run back on this to try and develop 2 yellows in the house to make it harder for Schwartz.
Well, we said this game was going to be entertaining, and this is exactly what we're getting.
Yep!
Nice!
Whoa!
Yep!
Yep!
Whoa! Gut!
Robert.
Well, forces Benoit Schwartz to play against the single, but that's not probably the way you would call it, is it, Rob?
Well, he's lying shot, and he's guarded. I don't think it's an awful lot different than the front stone freeze that we were calling would have ended up, other than the fact that he's probably got slightly more room to draw to now. But it was a good shot. It's the one he called, one he went for. But I think Benoit Schwartz would have played the whole game hoping to have a shot like this to win it. Looks relaxed at the moment. 8-foot draw, he's just played it. Forced him out to have slightly more ice. Sven Mikkel and Valentin Tanner jumped on it, but they're not killing it, they're just keeping it fresh.
Ça glisse bien là-bas, hein? Ça glisse bien.
I like it.
C'est bien, c'est bien, c'est bien.
14-4.
Yeah, this one looks very good from
Bien, Ben.
the skip and fourth player down to the button. And wow, Rob, from trailing from 3 down after 2 ends, it's Team de Cruz who win this one against Schwaller. Final score, Schwaller 5, de Cruz 6. Very entertaining game here at the Mercure Perth Masters.
Yeah, well, thanks, Kenny. We'll see you later on for the last game of the evening, and back again tomorrow in the morning for the playoffs. I'll be back again in the afternoon tomorrow, and we'll see some more cracking games. Live coverage here on behalf of the World Curling Tour, the World Curling Federation, World Curling TV. We've seen a fantastic game and look forward to another fantastic one coming up very soon.
This is Schwaller in the first end. Just drawing one down into the 8-foot to pick up the single. Second end, and it was Schwaller and Benoit Schwartz chasing 2 reds in the 4-foot, and it resulted in a steal of 2 for Schwaller.
He certainly made up for it in the third with that lovely angled raise, getting it slightly fortunate on the feather on the top one, picking up a big 3 to come back to make it 3-all.
Fourth end, Schwaller drawing for the single point.
Yeah, and the fifth end was the end we saw the steal of 1.
Yeah, again, Schwaller chasing this end, looking for a skinny double, just didn't make contact with the top yellow, and it was a steal of 1 for Peter de Cruz.
Yeah, momentum changing there. Game turned around. End 7. Schwaller playing a good draw against 3, just keeping him in the game at 5-all.
This is the final shot of the matchup. Benoit Schwartz for Team de Cruz, just needing to hit the 8-foot for the win. These guys do not miss these shots very often. Throws this one right down onto the button, and it was a 6-5 win for Peter de Cruz over Schwartz. So that's it for the coverage here this afternoon. Please join us very soon for more action from the Mercure Perth Masters 2019 from the Dewar Centre in Perth. Thank you for listening.